This video will demonstrate how to install a 3-prong power cord on a GE electric dryer. Safety first, so always disconnect power before servicing any electrical appliance. This is the back of the dryer, and I have it tilted forward and on its front so I can work on it easier. As you can see, it has a 4-prong power cord on it, and we have to remove it before we can install the 3-prong. The first thing I'm going to do is remove this. This is a 1/4 inch, and this is the screw that's holding the cover plate on. Once it's removed, you can see the terminal block where the wires are connected at. On the inside of the 4-prong, you have a hot wire location at the top, in the middle is a neutral wire, and the bottom is another hot wire location with a black wire, and then there's a green grounding screw with a green wire going to it on the body. That's all 4 wires. So first thing we have to do, like I said, is remove those screws that are holding the wires onto the terminal block, and I'm just going to use a power tool, and it has a Phillips head on it to remove these Phillips head screws. Once I get all those removed, set them out of the way, and now I have to look at also, I'm going to go ahead and take off this 2 screws that are on the strain relief clamp that are holding it on while I've got the tool here, and they're using Phillips head as well. Let's go ahead and pull that off. Save those for reinstallation on the 3-prong, because you definitely have to have a strain relief on your power cord to protect the power cord and also protect the wires from being pulled on. The power cord can get cuts on it where it goes through that hole there, so if you don't have these on there, the machine will vibrate and it will actually cause cuts and abrasions on the power cord. Of course, you don't want to have any shorts. Now I'm going to remove that 1/4 inch screw. That's the grounding screw. This grounds the ground wire to the body on the 4-prong. We're going to save that grounding screw because we're going to need it when we do the 3-prong, and we have to reinstall with a grounding strap to accomplish the same purpose. So take that off, save the screw, bend the wires all together so that they're easier to pull through the access hole. You don't want to scrape the wires through there, so make sure you're doing it carefully so that they're not getting scraped. Let's go ahead and set that out of the way. Now we'll get to, you see where the grounding screw was? There's another grounding location over here on the end, close to where the cover was screwed in place at. I'm going to use this grounding strap, and this is what it looks like. It's GE part number WE4M325, and that actually is a kit that has a terminal block and a grounding strap. But if you don't have this grounding strap, you absolutely have to get one. Ground the body using that same green screw going to the neutral terminal on the terminal block. So one end gets screwed on the body, the other end, the hole will line up there so that when we install the neutral power cord, it'll all go together on that neutral terminal. So now that the body is grounded, go ahead and get ready to install the 3-prong power cord. Here's the other half of that strain relief clamp, and I'm leaving it in place because it's easier to do it, put the cable in. It's very difficult to put that part on this style of dryer. Do that while the cable's already installed, so I want that in there first. And of course it was already there from the 4-prong, I just wanted to show you what it looked like. Here's the 3-prong power cord terminal ends. The middle one is a neutral, and that's the one that has to go in the middle of the terminal block. It'll even say neutral right on it if you look carefully. The other 2 wires are hot wires, and they don't matter which one goes to the outer terminals. One goes on top and one goes on the bottom on the outer terminals. The main thing is to make sure is that neutral has to go in the middle. And now that I've got the position where I want them, I'll go ahead and get the 3 screws that used to hold on the 4-prong power cord wires. We're using the same ones, of course. Line the holes up, and then using a Phillips screwdriver, I'm going to go ahead and get them started and tighten them down. I'm not using the power tool. It's too bulky to start these with. It's much easier to start them with a screwdriver instead of that heavy power tool. But anyways, go ahead and get them started. I'll get all of them started and then tighten down snug, and then we'll move on to the next slide. What I'm going to show you is a picture of the installation that'll show you the locations of the wires. Okay, now that these are all tied, I'll show you a picture of what it looks like with them all installed. You'll have the top wire is going to be the hot wire. The middle one is the neutral, and the bottom one is the other hot wire. You have the grounding strap in place and screwed in place with a green grounding screw. Now I'll go ahead and install the other half of the string relief clamp. Just slip that piece back in through the hole. It's a tongue-like thing. Just stick it up in there and align the hole so that the screws can be put through. Go ahead and get one started on one side and then go to the other side and kind of work back and forth. When you're installing a string relief clamp, you don't want to tighten one side all the way down, because if you do, the other side will be very much out of alignment and you won't be able to start it very easily. So kind of work back and forth on it. Again, just a word of caution, do not leave off the string relief clamp. Also another step of installation, but it is a safety feature. It does definitely protect the power cord from getting cuts on it. And if someone were able to pull on that power cord, they'll be pulling against the clamp and the clamp mount instead of pulling on the terminal end wires on the terminal block, which could also cause damage. So it prevents that as well. Okay, it's good, tied in place. Now I'll just go ahead and grab the cover plate. Just slip the tabs back into the holes where they were before. And using the same 1/4" screw that held it in place, I'll go ahead and get it started and tightened down. And don't get these two screws confused or mixed up, because the grounding screw is a self-tapping screw. It is different from the screw that holds the cover plate on. They're both 1/4" on the socket size, but they're not the same types of screws. And there's your completed installation of a 3-prong power cord on a GE electric dryer.